Hello, hello. I am going to talk to you today about novel recommendations because now that we've finished April, we need to find a new novel for May. And so I just wanted to give you a rundown of some of the novels that I personally enjoy. And I wanted to choose ones that I enjoy, so therefore I think other people might enjoy, but also ones that I think are within your reading level, but also of a varied type. I tried to get a varied type in there. And I also didn't want to choose ones that you've already heard of. I'm not going to mention Harry Potter. You know Harry Potter exists, or The Maze Runner, or Ready Player One, or Ender's Game, because these are ones that you've heard about or I've already talked about many times. So I wanted to list here more. I wanted to list here more ones that perhaps you hadn't heard of, but are still absolutely excellent. So let's start with The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. So this one is a sci-fi novel. It's not terribly long, but it takes place, of course, in the future, and it's about this conscript who gets conscripted to this war, the Forever War, and because they found an alien species, and it's not about the other aliens necessarily. It's really about mankind and how we deal with conflict and warfare, even in the future, and about like the grunts experience through it and such. But it's really well written. It's really good. It's really powerful. It talks. You really get to know the characters, and it's really about also. Like the space between, like it takes so long to get places in the future, to get from planet to planet, etc., that you don't necessarily, a war wouldn't be fought in the same way that it would be today. Okay, the next one would be another sci-fi one with the word war in it, which is why it comes next, because it's what I'm thinking about. It's called Old Man's War, and it's about a future where humans who have got off the planet, they're more technologically advanced, etc., and they use as like they use old people. When you get so old that you are done living on Earth, that's when they like conscript you and they reinvigorate you through bioengineering and such. And so it follows one person who gets this bioengineering after really being old. That's why it's called Old Man's War, because everybody who's in the army used to be like 80-year-olds, and now they've been reinvigorated and such. And so they have all this experience, but at the same time they're these powerful beings of warfare. So that's an interesting one. A fantasy novel that I would recommend. Both of those, by the way, are within like a grade 9 reading level. This one as well is like a grade 9 reading level. It's called The Princess Bride, which I'm sure you actually heard of as a movie. You've probably even watched it as a movie. But I'm telling you, the novel's actually really good. And really engaging, really funny. So The Princess Bride, if you've seen the movie, you'd actually still enjoy, I think, the novel. And if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch it. Read the book first, then watch the movie. Both are excellent. It's called The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And again, excellent. You will certainly enjoy it. The next novel that I would recommend is a sci-fi film, World War Z. Or Z in Canada, I suppose. So World War Z is about a zombie apocalypse, but it's told through diary entries. So it's like it's like as if humanity survives the zombie apocalypse, and then we try to like log what happened. We make a log, like a historical record of what happened, but we get firsthand accounts. So we talk to the very first doctor who ever found a zombie. We talk to the first soldier who ever encountered a zombie. We talk to people from different countries and how they dealt with the issue. It's actually an exceptionally well done novel, and it takes the zombie apocalypse really quite seriously, and like as if it actually happened. It's not joking around. It's like, no, there was an actual zombie apocalypse, and this is actually how real countries today would have dealt and have dealt with it. So it's a very serious look at zombies, which makes it actually that much more excellent and powerful. The next one I would recommend is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. So I've recommended this a number of times to a number of students, and I would highly recommend it to you. It's a story of an autistic, it's told from the perspective of someone with autism. He's a youth. He's like, I think 16 to 20, somewhere in there. So this 16 to 20-year-old encounters a crazy situation at the, has an incident of a dog in the nighttime, and the dog is dead, and people think he did it. And it's about him understanding how people are treating him and what happened when he knows he didn't do it. And it's really confusing for him. And I don't know. As far as a book written from the perspective of someone with autism, I don't have autism, so I don't know how accurate perhaps it is, but I have heard that it is exceptionally accurate. It's an exceptionally powerful way of understanding other people or people with autism, but it's also a really great story. So it's also like just a brilliant story. The next one I would recommend is It's Kind of a Funny Story. That's the title. It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. And it is sort of based on true events because the author, Ned, he went through what the main character goes through, which is severe depression and anxiety, and he doesn't quite. It's about like wanting to commit suicide and the depression and the anxiety that goes with that, and not knowing how to deal with it, and being in a facility for people who need help. And again, based on kind of true events and how Ned goes through that, but it's just really well done, and it's really quite funny and powerful and emotional and all those wonderful things. Excuse me. Sorry. The next one I would recommend is an oldie but a goodie. It's called The Chocolate War by Robert Cornier. And it's an oldie, like it's been around for a long time, but it's brilliant. It's about like some kid, you know how they do fundraisers where you have to like sell stuff for the school, and it's a fundraiser, and this school does this fundraiser all the time about selling chocolates, and this one student refuses to, and whatever, and it's just like pitting him against the school system, like a kid against the system, and how, I don't know, it's actually hilarious. It's all the books I've recommended so far are kind of at the grade 9 level. This one is maybe more at the grade 8 level, but again, it's absolutely excellent. So please check it out. You'll really enjoy it. The next one I would suggest is also a grade 9 book, and it's science fiction called The House of the Scorpion. And The House of the Scorpion used to be, Miss Groller used to have all of her students read it, actually. So she would do it as like the grade 9 novel, and she would have them all do it together. But it's really good. It's like sci-fi as well. It's in the future where the United States has really gone downhill, and it's like Mexico that's really popped up as like a powerful unit, and it's a drug cartel and stuff. And the main character is, well, I don't want to tell you too much, but main character is a kid who's living on a compound with a drug kingpin. So this drug kingpin and him, and he's like the drug kingpin for some reason really is taking care of him and is being nice to him, and is like he's like part of the family almost, but not. And you don't really understand why and such, but it's really good. I don't know, it's fun, and it's one of those kind of sci-fi ones. Like if you enjoy what's it called, like the Hunger Games and all those, it's along those lines. And again, it's a grade 9 book. Now we've talked a lot about novels that are for like what I would consider for a grade 9 student at that reading level. This one that I'm about to mention now is not. This one is a probably grade 11, 12 reading level. It's sci-fi, but the reason I'm putting it in here is because it is the only science fiction novel that I know of where an Asian author won a number of Western sci-fi awards. So his novel was translated into English, and it won a whole bunch of awards in the West, and it's so original. It does things with, I don't know, it does things in sci-fi that I haven't seen done anywhere else. So it's called The Three Body Problem. It's called The Three Body Problem, and it is, again, it's kind of brilliant in its, see, I don't even want to tell you too much. If you want to challenge yourself and you enjoy science fiction, this is certainly a novel for you. Now, I will make a second part to this, but I have to go stop my son from doing something that he is doing. So I'll get back to you.